LangChain is a development framework that makes it super easy to create AI-powered applications in JavaScript and Python. And one of the core features of LangChain is its ability to connect our AI application to external data sources. And furthermore, it makes it extremely easy to swap out components. For instance, if you no longer want to use the OpenAI models, simply swap it out for one of the open source models instead. Or if you need a different vector store, that's very easy to swap out as well. And another reason why LangChain is becoming extremely important in building real-world SaaS applications is its ability to provide in-depth information about the steps, the inputs, outputs, and everything you need to know during execution. LangChain provides support for both Python and JavaScript. And in this series, we will have a look at the Python package. I do have a series on the JavaScript package on my channel if you are interested. If you get stuck at any point during this series, you can find the source code in this GitHub repository, and all you have to do is change the branch to your specific lesson to get the source code. This series is beginner friendly, but I will assume that you do have a basic understanding of Python. Let's open up a new project in our code editor. I'll be using VS Code in this example. And let's first set up our project environment. In the terminal, let's create a virtual environment by running python -m venv, and I'll call the environment venv as well. And let's press enter. We can now activate our virtual environment by running venv/scripts/activate. You should see the name of the virtual environment at the start of this line, and that will indicate that the environment is active. Now let's install a few dependencies by calling pip install LangChain. And since we'll be using the OpenAI models in this video, let's install another dependency called LangChain-OpenAI and press enter. And this will take a while to install. So in the meantime, let's create a new file in our project and let's call it llm.py. Of course, you can call this file whatever you want. I'm going to close the terminal for now. So in this file, we can start writing our code. Let's start by instantiating our LLM. At the top of our code, let's import something from LangChain by typing from LangChain_OpenAI import chatOpenAI. This class that we just imported is basically a wrapper for the OpenAI endpoints. Let's instantiate our model by creating a variable called LLM, which is equal to the chatOpenAI class. Now, in order for us to be able to call OpenAI, we do need to provide an API key. So in this class, we can pass in the parameter API key, which is equal to some API string. Now let's go ahead and get our API keys from OpenAI. You can get your OpenAI key by going to platform.openai.com/API keys. From here, click on Create New Secret Key, give it a name, click on Create Secret Key, copy this key, and then paste it into this parameter. Now, in order to chat to this model, all we have to do is call LLM.invoke, and now we can pass a message to our model like, hello, how are you? And let's also save the response from the model to a variable called response, like so. And lastly, let's print this response. Let's test this in the terminal by running py llm.py, and we get this content property back with the response from the model. And just like that, we were able to create our very first chatbot. Well done. Now let's continue. Let's close the terminal and let's have a look at how we can improve this code. The first thing we need to do is to remove this API key from the code and add it to the environment variables instead. But I wanted to show you this property for a reason. I recently worked on a project for a client where we had to dynamically populate this API key based on the logged in user. So in that instance, it made sense to pass in the API key as a property. So let's have a look at moving this key to an environment variable for security's sake. In the project folder, let's create a new file. Let's call it .env. Let's create a new value called OpenAI API key, which is equal to our API key. Now, in order to make this environment variable available to our code, we need to install a dependency. So in the terminal, type pip install python-env. Now, in our code, above these LangChain imports, let's type from.env import load.env, and just below this, let's execute load_.env. We can actually remove this line completely, since the ChatOpenAI class will automatically look for an environment variable called OpenAI API Key. So let's go ahead and test this again in the terminal just to make sure that the code still works, which it does. Great. Right, now let's have a look at what other properties we can pass to this ChatOpenAI class. First, we can specify the model name. OpenAI provides a massive list of models that we can use. And in this field, we can specify the specific model that we would like to interact with. For instance, the popular GPT 3.5 Turbo model or the more advanced GPT-4 model. For this tutorial, let's use the GPT 3.5 model, as this is the one that most of you will have access to. We can also specify a temperature value. This is a value between 0 and 1. 0 being strict and factual, and 1 being creative. So good examples of these would be that if you want the model to answer questions factually, like with math or answering questions from a database, you want to keep this temperature value as close to 0 as possible, perhaps even a value of 0.2 or 0.4. But if you want the model to be creative, for instance, to come up with business names, telling jokes, writing poems, etc., you would want the value close to 1. For instance, a value of 0.7. We can also specify the maximum amount of tokens per generation. This is important when we interact with OpenAI models, as we are charged for the amount of tokens that we use. So we might want to add a limit to this property as well. Another important property is the verbose property, which we can set to true. And what the verbose property will allow us to do is to debug the output from the model. And this is useful for more complex chains. Now let's have a look at the different ways in which we can call these models. We already had a look at the invoke method, which simply allows us to pass in a prompt and get a response back. But we are also able to pass in multiple prompts and then get multiple responses back by changing invoke to batch. And the batch method will allow us to pass in a list of values by passing in these square brackets, and we can now pass in a second prompt like write a poem about AI. And now let's go ahead and run this in the terminal. Now in the response, we can see that we now receive a list as output that contains these AI message objects. And in the AI message object, we can see the property called content with the value, hello, I'm an AI, I don't have feelings. And this relates to the first prompt in this list. Then we receive a second item in this list called AI message again with the content, and this contains the poem about AI. And what is very cool about this is that these two prompts are run in parallel. Another useful method is stream. So stream takes in a prompt as input, and what stream will do is when we run it, we will receive the response back from the AI in chunks. So instead of returning the response like this, let's just comment this out for a second. And now let's write for chunk in response print, and let's print the chunk value with an end of just a blank string, and let's set flush to true. And let's go ahead and run this in the terminal. When we run this, you will notice that the content is streamed back to us. But this looks a little bit bad. So instead of printing chunk, let's print chunk.content instead. And let's clear the terminal and let's run this again. And this time we can see the response streaming as well. Let's try that one more time. In fact, let's give it a bigger prompt like write a poem about AI. Now let's run this again in the terminal and you will notice the response streaming through from the model. You now know how to create a very basic chatbot in LangChain. And in the next few videos, you will learn how to take full control over these conversations as well as the output being produced by the AI.